If you're thinking about buying a new construction home, but you need to sell your current home in order to do that, let me just tell you there can be some challenges with being able to get the timing of everything to line up just right. But in this video, we're going to cover some key steps in order to help you achieve perfect timing. Hey, Jose here, your SoCal Realtor. If you are thinking about buying or selling a home, don't hesitate to reach out. My team and we are here and ready to help you with your real estate needs. So, okay, first of all, understand it does take a little bit of time in order for the builder to finish building a home. It typically takes about an average of 6 to 9 months for most builders to finish building a home. While the process of selling your home in order to buy a new construction home is, in all honesty, it's pretty similar to selling your home and buying a resale home. A home that's not new construction, basically, it's an existing home. The difference though is that if you're buying a new construction home, a home that they really haven't started building yet, that could make things a little tricky, because if your home sells quickly, hopefully you got yourself a good agent, someone that knows what they're doing, is going to make sure that your home sells quickly, or let's just say, make sure that your home doesn't sit on the market forever. But what if it does sell quickly? Let's say it took you 30 days. You put your house up for sale, took you 30 days to find an offer, you get the perfect offer, this is the one, let's accept it. So now 30 days, you're in escrow. Another 30 days to finish escrow. So that's 2 months. Took you 2 months to get the house sold. It's official. It's no longer yours. In other words, you got to move.
Okay, let's get out of here, okay?
But if your new home isn't going to be ready for another 4 months, of course, for more on the whole process of buying a new construction home, the communication that's necessary with everybody throughout the whole process, the inspections that you're definitely going to want to take toward the end of the process of buying your new construction home. I have a number of videos on my channel that I take a deeper dive into that whole subject matter. I would definitely check those out after you get done here. Fortunately, there are a few things that you can do, such as, first of all, yes, you could go ahead and sell your house, move out. You could rent somewhere short term. You could stay with family, stay with friends, or... Now, this one does need to be negotiated during the sale, or not even during the sale, I should say, at the very beginning of the negotiations of the sale of your house to that buyer. But what you could do is go ahead, sell the house, and rent it back from them. Don't move. You stay there. You're now a tenant of the house to the new owners. This is what's known as a seller leaseback. Now, I couldn't say whether or not that buyer is going to be willing to rent it back to you for the next 4 months. That's based, of course, on the example I gave just a moment ago of you have 4 months still left before your house is finished being built and ready for you to move in. But if you could get a lease back for that long, or just however long it is you need, whatever the number of months it is, but if you could get that, it certainly does make things a little bit easier, because now you don't have to worry about selling your house, moving out, moving into somewhere temporarily, and then, okay, a few months later, now we're ready to move into our new permanent home. Now, if you're one of the few, meaning you're one of the few that doesn't need to worry about selling your home and in order to go out and buy a new construction home, or whatever, right? I mean, new construction, whatever kind of home it is. But if you're one of those few, then obviously you're a little more fortunate, because now you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to worry about selling your home. You can just say, we're ready to go buy a home. Let's go buy our new home. Of course, if you're like most people, then that's probably not going to be an option for you. However, here's another option that may be worth considering, and that's what's called a bridge loan.
What is that?
A bridge loan, and forgive me if you're familiar with bridge loans, don't beat me up in the comments. I mean, this is probably going to be a little overly simplified, but a bridge loan, just very simply put, it's a temporary loan that provides you as a buyer financing for the loan, and actually even sometimes the down payment money too. It allows you to buy your new home before you've sold your current house. Basically, it's a financial bridge to get you from here to here. Of course, those loans are oftentimes approved with the understanding that you are planning to sell your house. And in fact, actually, it's not uncommon that they have like a certain time frame that you need to have your home sold by. No question, a bridge loan can make things more convenient, because you don't have to worry about, we sell our house, where are we going to stay in the meantime? That question is answered. However, there are a few negatives that I do want to make sure that you're aware of, though. First of all, there are fees. This is a short-term loan that's meant to be a bridge loan, but it's meant to be a bridge to your new permanent financing for your new home. And most short-term loans, they do tend to have higher fees. And what else do short-term loans oftentimes have? Higher interest rate. Again, it's not meant to be a long-term loan, and it's not uncommon, I'll put it that way, for the interest rates to be a little higher. This may not be the loan option for everyone, and of course there are qualification requirements for bridge loans, but it's at least worth exploring. Regardless of the route you go, whether you sell your home, then go buy a new construction home, or go buy a new construction home, then sell your house. Or if you're able to, line everything up to time just right and close escrow on both houses at the same time. You want to stay flexible though, because listen, the builder, they'll give you their estimated time frame on when your home should be completed. That is assuming you're not buying a spec home, a home that they've already built, it's done, it's ready to be sold. But back to what I was saying. Whatever the time frame is, it's just there is a possibility that there could be delays. Yeah, there could be delays due to the county inspector's schedule. There could be delays due to the arrival time or late arrival time for materials or appliances for the house. There could be delays due to the weather. There's any number of things that could potentially delay the completion time for your new home. Just the good news though is this. Listen, we're not talking about months of delay. Hang on, let me catch myself there, because what I should say is there's usually never or mostly never months long delay. I guess anything's possible. I guess it could happen. Usually though, if there is a delay, we're talking maybe a week, maybe a couple weeks of delay time. Most builders are really good about that. They're really good about being pretty much right on, if not exactly on their target date. Nevertheless though, that's why I say you definitely want to make sure that you are a little bit flexible though. A question I do get quite a bit, and you honestly might even be thinking this one yourself, and that is, Jose, do I need a real estate agent in order to buy a new construction home? And let me just say very clearly, no, you don't. You don't need a real estate agent in order to buy a new construction home.
Not what I was expecting you to say.
In fact, you don't need an agent to buy any home, whether it's new construction, resale, any kind of home. Now, I'm not sure I would do that, but it's not required. But if you are buying a new construction home, there definitely are some benefits to having an agent represent you, such as, for instance, if you're new to the area or neighborhood. It can certainly be helpful to have an agent give you just a little bit of inside knowledge, a little bit of insight into the area, into the neighborhood, into the amenities, and just everything around the neighborhood there. Being perfectly honest though, there are limitations to just how much can be negotiated when buying a new construction home, but having an agent that represents you, and only you, not you and the builder, just only you, it can be helpful with doing some negotiating on, maybe some extras, maybe extra on the incentives or closing costs, or maybe even some extra incentives that sometimes some builders don't always offer to unrepresented buyers. Another area that benefits you to have an agent represent you when buying a new construction home, the inspections. Yeah, even though it's a new construction home, it's brand new, it's freshly built, you would think, hey, sometimes some things can potentially pop up, and having an agent that can recommend a quality, reputable home inspector to go through the house, check everything out, make sure everything's functioning correctly, make sure everything was done correctly. Listen, I've seen a couple times now where it turned out to be priceless. Another area that can sometimes benefit you to have an agent, and that's the mortgage. I know we talked a little bit about the financing earlier, and if I'm being very honest with you, the builder's preferred lender, they're usually kind of hard to beat. Those incentives that the builders usually offer, a lot of times they're going to be tied to using their lender. But having an agent as a neutral third party to sit down with you, to help you review everything, to help you decide, well, which one is the loan option that's going to be the most beneficial for you. And of course, there's the final walkthrough. That's where you're going to walk through the house. They're going to hand you a roll of blue masking tape. You're going to put a piece on everything that doesn't look right. Hey, that's not opening correctly. Or, hey, that's scratched. I want to put a piece on there. Whatever it is. And you're usually going to do this within usually the last 2, maybe the last 3 weeks before the house is done, before you're ready to close escrow on your new home. In fact, actually, what I would do is I would have that outside home inspector go through the house just before you go through and do your blue masking tape walkthrough. But having an extra set of eyes with you when you do that final walkthrough, somebody that looks at homes on a regular, daily basis, they might help you catch a few extra things that it's possible you missed just simply because of their experience. And best of all, having that agent, it's at no extra cost to you. I didn't say free because technically it's not free to have an agent represent you when you are buying a new construction home, but it is at no additional cost because the commission that builder, that they're paying your agent, the one that's representing you and looking out for you, well, that commission, it's already been factored into the sales price of the house. So in other words, you're paying for an agent whether you have one or not. And since it's at no extra cost, again, it's already factored into the sales price of the house. I mean, you might as well take advantage of everything that does come with having an agent to represent you, to look out for you. Just one word of caution on that though is always have your agent with you the very first time you go to see the model homes. Of course, if you have any questions at all, or if you are thinking about buying or selling a home, my contact information is below. Feel free to reach out. Otherwise, until then, catch you on the next one.